Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8, where my viewers submit games and I have to guess their stats based on the epicness of their gameplay. This is a paid submission, so it's guaranteed to appear in the series. You can find out more about how to submit and guarantee your gameplay is used in the description. Now we have an IS-4. Did I tell you what this game is about? I guess how good they are. If I get within 250 WN8 or 2% of their wins, then I win. Also, we got no engine audio, so I'll sort that out once we get 20 seconds into the game. Technical stuff, don't worry about it. IS-4. One of my favourite tanks in the game, because it is one of the only tanks that you can correctly angle at around 50 degrees, over 45 degrees. The side armor of the IS-4 is ridiculous, 160 millimeters on paper, and it will eat some heat shells. But the thing about the IS-4 is if you are playing it against good players, then it's essentially paper, because anything with premium shells will always have a penning shot on it, no matter what you do. Apart from in a reverse side-scraping situation, because the IS-4 is one of the best reverse side-scraping vehicles in the entire game. So that's good fun. Now, we have Jeffo driving this, and full disclosure, he is in the clan, so I have some idea of his statistics. I don't recall exact details, but I know he's not a great player. I don't think he's above 55%. Well, I have a vague idea of how good this player is, so take that with what you will. Now, we are loading heat shells here, and unlike the ST2, another Russian heavy tank, which only has 310 millimeters of pen with heat, the IS-4 has 40 even, which is very, very good indeed. So, we'll have to see what you can do with it. You've got to be nervous having already taken a smack from a 261, 261 being the most accurate RT in the entire game. You've got to be nervous about holding this engagement, because 261 ain't gonna be friendly if it's allowed to pound on you repeatedly. Now, we are angling very accurately here. This is the sort of angle that you want to present the IS-4 on, if not even a little more than that, if you know that the enemy is firing premium shells, because spaced armor does like to eat them. And that ST2 is missing his shells. I'm surprised we connected with the cupola, given the .42 accuracy on this thing. And this gentleman perhaps going to have a go at the side armor, and does actually pen, perhaps getting an overmatch. Did he hit high? Might have been an overmatch, never know. And he's going to have trouble here if he's not careful. Wow! Very impressive. I don't know if he's shooting high and avoiding the spaced armor, but yeah, looks like maybe one of them was an overmatch. Maybe both of them, but very surprising to take 2 pens there. Very surprising. Looks like our team is pounding forward on the high ground. And that is over-angled, and there we go. That's what we expect from the IS-4 side armor. Lovely stuff. And we got a Leopard coming up one line, making his way into support. Lovely stuff. Can open a bit off more than he could chew in that regard. Now, we want to do what we can to pressure from down low here, because we do have pressure coming in from high from our team. 261 getting involved. We really do not have the luxury of time right now. We need to be trading health, trading damage, and doing what we can, because we've lost the mid, we've lost the base, and if we sit here, we're just going to get surrounded and die. So it's die now or die later. You've got to start trading your hit points, putting out what damage you can. and making your way forward. This is a good start, trying to get damage into this IS-7, but if he gives you a non-pennable... Ooh, bold. Okay, at this point, you have to try pressing up to this corner. There's a Grill 15, but put yourself on an angle, press up, use this leg, load to... Oh, you don't have any HE shells. Interesting. The IS-4 only carries 30 shells, so... That's worth noting. People's mothers are getting reported in chat, which is always fun. But we got to push up at this point, don't we? Can we fall back? Another pounding from the Arty. Lovely contribution. And now we've got... Okay, nice. Very nice. So you'll notice he didn't turn all the way around, which is what a very poor, inexperienced player would do. Now, instead, he just angled his back this way to display more of his side armor, because the side armor is good at this sort of angle, right? And that occurs whether you're shooting from this side or whether you're shooting from this side, right? It's still the same side armor. Admittedly, he could just shoot at the ass, but this is what you do in this sort of situation when you've got potential fire from this area as well. You're trying to make the best of a bad situation. Oh, and you... Okay, he did get away with that. Did the exact thing I said he wasn't doing. Okay, alright. This is a more secure position, though, for sure. We've got to watch that mule coming up behind us. Oh, good HE pen by the E100. That Arty is still after you. Gone back to network with our team here, which is very, very nice. Okay, and going to high ground is always preferable. Arty sitting there with 2 marks, bless his heart, seeing if he can put out another shot from his autoloader. This IS-7 and people have got to return to the high ground. They've got to pull back up, get out of this crossfire between the Grill and the Leo. The IS-7 behind. These guys have got to pull all the way up. Why is that? Well, because there... Right, they have to cover the Leopard on this side and the Grill on this side. It's a crossfire, right? You don't live if you stay there. But what happens if they fall back to here? Well, then the enemy are in the crossfire, right? If the enemy want to attack, they have to worry about this angle, and they have to worry about this angle, right? So we can change it from having to attack into a crossfire into providing a crossfire by pulling these guys back a little bit. So that's exactly what you want to try and do now. Obviously, can't pull them back too far because of this, but just leave one IS-7 facing this way and turn the other one round to maybe support the Holy, and you achieve what we want to here. Very nice. BZ takes out the Jagdpanzer. Now we've got to do some violence of action. Let's move off, clean up that E5. And turn around and support our team. Do not have the luxury of time. We're still plowing forward here. I like to see it. Can't worry about the Leopard while this E5 is still here. Let's take a pen coming around the corner, but that's fine. Do we want to be concerned about our team right now? Work our way down. Not a... I was going to say, I would prefer to keep high ground in that situation. But we were worried about the Arty, so it may have saved our life to hop down after that. Didn't see any R function there. Let's go back a bit, and what we're watching is the speedometer on our little HUD at the bottom left. So when you're closing and you're not sure if you're going to get a target presented, this is the sort of situation where you want to be using the R function. So right now, I would tap R once he goes stealth. I would tap R once. This would allow me to aim while still closing a bit of distance. Let's see if R comes up. Nope, doesn't. So we'd want R to be tapped once and keep the aim on the corner. It would make us far more accurate. As it happens, we do get the shot anyway, but that would be a prudent time to be using the R function. Now we want to worry about RT. We know the RT has a shot at us here. I would have stayed closer to here, because I think going here right now, it's very likely that the RT has a shot at us as we go out here. Very likely. Wow, I am shocked. Absolutely shocked that we didn't get pounded by the RT here. Side snipe in here. Does save him from death.
We're dead for. Everyone get out.
And we called it. So the play there would have been to either hold this position and let the enemy team be dumb. I mean, it's very hard to win this in this situation. The game was nearly kind of lost when we abandoned the high ground from here down to here. Like, once we're here, we just really can't get out of this situation, because if the enemy is in any way competent, you can't when you're getting high ground. Why do I say that? Because if the ST2 is competent or the I7 is competent, they just watch this corner, and if you try and push there, you get killed by the RT. Or you get killed by the shot from the guy holding corner. Like, there's just no way you can get back onto the high ground again from this situation, unless you get very lucky and go all the way low and they don't cap. But, yeah. So the main mistake here was leaving high ground, and I'd argue a big mistake was yelling out here while we were still spotted. Like, that enabled the RT to be aimed, so when you were spotted, it was just an instant dunk for the RT. Best thing would have been to hug here until we're unspotted and just try and hold this position for a little bit. I think maybe you could have done something with the neck there, being able to spot through it on the corner, maybe get all the way under there and hold out for a little bit harder, but it would have been very, very difficult. So what am I thinking? Instinct is sort of 52%, somewhere around there. I'm torn between sort of memory and trying to predict. Difficult situation. Knows the principles of how to angle the IS-4, but perhaps a little more proactive in terms of close quarters angling. I think the can opener did get a little lucky with some of the pens there, but sort of 3 degrees less on the angle and he would have bounced. Again, motivated gameplay, so when we saw we were losing base, we should have really upped to aggression. It's only by essentially luck that we were allowed to get out and reverse along there, but I think we should have been playing far more aggressively earlier. I might well have died trying to play aggressively down here, but I think it probably would have potentially saved the game. Just debatable, to be honest. And there was some poor principal moves, primarily just the abandoning up high ground at the end. Like, I feel like high ground in WoT tanks becomes more important the later into the game you get. Right? Like, going from here down to here, chasing a Leo in the first, like, minute, 2 minutes of the game, completely justified. Absolutely justified. Doing it in the last 2 minutes? Not so much. Okay, so my estimate, 52.89 and 1,530. Let's see. Ooh, okay, lovely. I was not far off. I was not far off at all. I will take that. Okay. Well, Jeffo, thank you very much for sending back replay in. I do hope you've enjoyed. Links in the description will show you the next and previous episodes. Consider becoming a channel member if you want to get early access to the releases. The playlist on the outro screen, there will be a playlist there as well, and you can look in the description for details on how to submit for this series. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Humanity peaks at our community manager. He is mentally jacked and strengthening our backs just like the counterweight on the turret of the challenger. Cause if we find ourselves in a crappy mood, you will brighten our day just through your attitude. Steven and Peabody, badass crew. So please take the song as a token of my gratitude.